So 8 p.m. time for us to get started. As ever, we do this call every Monday, and Monday's call is always one of the best calls of the week because on Monday we get leadership and inspiration from someone who's shown us from day one how we do this business. And he shows us from experience. He doesn't talk just by rote and telling you stuff he's read. This is a guy that's out there doing it every single day, day in, day out. There is no better person to learn from than someone who is actually out there doing it. He's become a really, really good friend in the last 15 months. His name is Brandon Boyd from Utah. Brandon, over to you, my friend.
Awesome. Well, guys, first of all, hope you had a great weekend. I want to say happy holiday to those who are here in the U.S. We're celebrating Martin Luther King Day. I was actually just listening to a freedom speech that he gave that's very powerful about basically creating a blueprint for our lives. And so very grateful for it today. I'm super excited to hop on these calls each Monday with the team here. I love working with Simon, love working with Roger and the team, and sharing things that hopefully from my experience, the stuff I've done, hopefully that'll help you guys out as well. I share something quick and straight to the point that you guys can take with you. Now, what I've been thinking about for this week, and feel free to take notes if you want to, is for 2021, really how to gain a millionaire mindset. If you actually want to become a millionaire financially, I want you to go ahead in the chat, type millionaire. If you actually want to become a millionaire, this is something that when I was young, I said, hey, one day I'm going to become a millionaire. Whether it was making $1 million in a year or having $1 million net worth, $1 million in assets, I want to become a millionaire. I want to be debt free. And that was just something that kind of was instilled in me at a young age. It was something I want. Now, here's what's interesting about life. Becoming a millionaire is actually becoming more ordinary as time is going on. I'll tell you why. It's because it is getting easier and easier for people to make money in a short period of time. We're seeing it inside of our company right now. We're seeing people smashing through the chairman ranks. We're seeing people who are having a lot of success on the trading side. And so really what I want to talk about, because it's the beginning of the year, is really developing the mindset of what it takes to become a millionaire. And the first step is, you guys want to write down, is daily personal development is not an option. If you want to become successful, if you want to be a millionaire in all the areas of your life, if you want to have whole life success, whether it's reading a book or listening to audios, you've got to be doing daily personal development. I do it 7 days a week. I don't know how long I do it, but I always tell people I recommend minimum 15 minutes a day. For me, it's probably 1 to 3 hours a day, because I'm listening to it in the morning at different times of the day when I'm driving around. So probably 1 to 3 hours on a daily basis. And so when people ask me all the time, well, how does it you stay so up, up, up in a down, down world? Well, it's because I do personal development, because naturally I think inside is it's easy to think the negative thoughts, what's not working out, how this is not going to work, how the trading doesn't work, how we've tried so hard to hit a certain rank and it's just not happening. Personal development coupled with my faith in a supreme being has made the difference for me. So daily personal development, number one, in developing a millionaire mindset. Number two is I tell people you want to focus on where you are going, not your current circumstances. So where you're going to, not what you're going through. Your test will become your testimony. The reason why I say you want to focus on where you're going, not your current circumstances, is there are people watching this right now that absolutely are struggling in life. Financially, relationships, health-wise, they're struggling. But you got to remember, we actually create our life, okay? So we don't allow circumstances to control us. We learn how to control circumstances. Circumstances come to everybody. I have circumstances in my life. You know, we've got a child right now who's 14 that's let's just put it this way, it's a very tough time with that particular child emotionally, okay? Everybody's got circumstances going on, and the whole pandemic did not help that particular situation. So you got to focus on where you're going to, not what you're going through, because, you know, it says that 2 men stood behind prison bars. One saw mud, the other stars. It's all in what you actually see when you're going through that mud, right? Everybody's going through it. Some people have teams that are growing. Others have teams that are disintegrating. Some people were doing well with trading. Now, for whatever reason, they're not doing well with trading. So that's why I say focus on where you're going to, not what you're currently going through. Okay. And that's going to give you kind of that energy, that fire is no matter what is happening around me, it's what's going on inside of me, because success and happiness is an inside job. All right. It's an inside job. It's what's going on in our mind. Number 3 is you want to focus on developing the right habits, not results. 2 weeks ago, I talked about this. Sometimes we're focused so much on I'm going chairman, going chairman, going chairman, going chairman, or I'm going to get this size of trading account. But let me ask you, do you even know the habits of what you need to put into your life in order to make that happen? We can't trick ourselves and say, I'm going chairman and work this thing 1 hour a day. It's not going to happen. We can't work this thing 30 minutes a day and think that you're going to be successful as a trader. The average millionaire works 59 hours a week. Okay, that's a lot of hours. And so you need to focus on what are the habits. A habit could be, I do personal development every day, listening to audios. I'm reaching out to a certain number of people every day about I am. A habit is I tend to go live every day, right? So these are habits that you're establishing. They are daily rituals of what you do each and every day to develop a millionaire mindset. And eventually those results of what we talk about, that I'm happy and grateful now that I'm a chairman XYZ by XYZ date, right? So it's easy to say that. And I think it's wonderful to say that. But remember, you also need to write down what are the habits that I'm going to cultivate, put into my life in order for that to come to fruition. Okay. Number 4 is you want to create a vision for yourself so that distractions don't matter. Everybody's got distractions. The cell phone can be a wonderful and yet terrible distraction at the same time. It can be the thing that gets us to millions of dollars, but it can be also the thing that destroys relationships. It can be the very thing that takes us away from that which is most important in our lives. All right. So the reason why I talk about vision, number 1, we know the good book says without vision, the people will perish, right? You want to have vision, not sight. Sight's like I get to the weekend. We're talking about something that's long-term. The distractions, like, for example, my family life, 6 kids, there's always going to be some troubles, right? You need to eliminate the distractions. So I want you to write down, when I say distraction, write down right now, what is the number 1 distraction that is occurring in your life right now that is keeping you from your goals? And let's be real. Let me be transparent. Is it TV? Is it certain shows you're watching? Now, I'm not going to advocate that watching TV is a bad thing. Okay. I went for a period of years where I watched no TV, and I only watch TV just with my wife because that's kind of her downtime. So we spend time together watching 1 or 2 shows that she likes. But if you're not in this position, what are we doing watching TV? And yet our bank accounts are empty. Our trading account is empty. Our goals are not listed. So what is the number 1 distraction? Is it video games? Is it TV? Is it just scanning social media too much? Think about that. So scanning social media is good, and this is how we reach out to people. But if we're spending too much time and it's not helping us get to our goals, just think about that, because that distraction right there could again be keeping us from where we want to go. Number 5, this one is very, very important, is you want to guard your language. And when I say language, I'm not just talking about, cuss words and stuff like that. I am talking about what is it you tell yourself every day? What do you tell yourself in your mind? Now, we know, at least the scientists tell us, there's 30 to 50,000 thoughts on a daily basis that go on in our mind. And so obviously we can't control all of those. But what are we actually verbally talking to ourselves about? What are we saying about ourselves? Okay. This right here of how we talk about ourselves, guess what that's going to affect? your self-image, your self-worth, and your self-esteem. Okay. If you don't feel good about yourself, you're not going to perform well. One of my heroes was Zig Ziglar. He said, you cannot consistently perform in a manner that is inconsistent with the way you see yourself. Okay? How we see ourselves, how we talk about ourselves is going to have an effect physiologically, how we feel. It's going to affect the way we feel about our relationships with our team, spouse, or significant other. It's going to affect the way that you feel about business and trading and all that. So be very careful what you say to yourself. That's why I say guard your language. All right. Okay. Number 6 is you want to invest in yourself, in your business. Okay. When I say invest in yourself, whatever it takes of time and money, you got to have the mentality that Arnold Schwarzenegger said. He said, whatever it takes, I will do. Okay. So we invest ourselves into the trading, the business, the culture, that you are the CEO of this company. You are the CEO of your life. So you invest in yourself and your business. Financially, I cannot even tell you how much money that I put into my business the last 5 years. All right. It's probably more than people will make in many, many, many years as far as what I put into my business. I haven't missed a convention since I started in 1999 in the industry. I don't miss conventions. I not only went to convention, I help my people actually get there. Okay. I don't miss the events that we do. So I'm invested in my business. So nobody can say, well, you're lucky. Luck is for leprechauns and you ain't green. All right. The bottom line is this, is that luck is a loser's excuse for a winner's commitment. I have put in the time and I have put in the money. There's very few people in this company that would ever outwork me because I was willing to put in the work. I am fully invested. I'm hashtag all in. Now, if you're hashtag all in, put hashtag all in inside of the chat. I want to see who we have out there that is actually all into what we do. See, I really believe that the reason why I'm where I'm at today, and this is not shed light on me, it's to shed light on the idea, is because I am fully invested. Like when people say I want it, we know the reality is they kind of want it, right? They're kind of like, they got these like plan Bs. Well, if this doesn't work, and let me try this and multiple streams of income. The reality is this, is that you have to become fully invested, almost even obsessed in order to become elite at something. You want to be like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Usain Bolt, okay? You have to be fully invested in what you do, okay? My plan B is to make sure that plan A works. I know what we do actually works. And if you stay around the campfire long enough, whether it's the business side or the trading side, eventually it is going to work for you. But if you're kind of tinkering at these other outside things and distractions, you'll never make enough money to make this thing worth it. It would be like if you take a magnifying glass and you harness the power of the sun. As long as you're not moving that magnifying glass, eventually with that focus, it is going to start a fire. The problem with people is they're always moving the magnifying glass. The problem with people is they're always redeciding their life, redeciding to be at the events, redeciding to build a business, redeciding to do this. They're constantly trying all these different strategies. One night I'm on swipe coin, this, I'm on that, I'm on HFX, FRX. Heck, let me go over here and try ECX, right? They're doing all these different things. They never focus on anything long enough to actually see it be successful. So make sure that you are fully invested. Now, the last one that on this particular session that I want to talk to you guys about is to guard who you spend your time with. We know, at least I learned from Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, 95% of the success and happiness that we experience in our lives is who we are associating with. So think about the people that you associate with, that you talk to on a daily basis. Those people, all in all, determine the energy level that you have, the excitement, the positive, the optimism, okay? All of those kinds of things They determine that because you become like the people that you associate with. So guard guard who you actually spend time with. And this could even be family. You got to be careful. There are certain family members who could be a little bit of a parasite, maybe even a leech. They're an energy drainer, an energy vampire. Every time that you talk to them, you actually have to go and listen to an Eric Thomas audio just to get yourself lifted back up. Okay, so sometimes you want to create distance with these people. All right, you want to actually pull yourself back a little bit and say, hold on a second. This person is not helping me towards my goals. And if they're not, I don't necessarily have to say I'm never talking to you again, but I'm going to create some distance where maybe we don't really communicate that often, because that person could be the individual, or at least one of them, who's keeping me away from my goals. Why? Because they don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you pass them up, right? So guard who you spend your time with. One of the things that I tell people as well is I never tell anyone my plans. What I do is I show them results. See, when David was asked, what'll happen here if I kill the giant? He said, you don't have to pay taxes and you get to marry the king's daughter. All he said was, I'll be right back. So when I went to Chris Terry and he showed me the compensation plan, I didn't tell him I was going to bring all these people and do all this stuff. I said to him, I'll be right back. So let me say this, I'll say kindly, but a little bluntly. Sometimes we just need to shut up and frickin' grind. Your spouse does not want to hear about how you're going to kill this thing. Your spouse doesn't want to hear about the next thing. You got to shut up and make it happen. And when I say shut up, I say shut up to myself as well. My wife doesn't want to hear about all the plans. Just go make it happen. Because I tell you, when people are like, well, my spouse is not supporting me, that's because you're not making any freaking money. Because when you come home and all of a sudden you made $5,000 for the day, they have no problem supporting you. But until that happens, all they think is that you're doing the latest scheme that's going to drain the family funds, and that she has to tell the other family members, what's your husband up to these days? Well, that's what we're trying to figure out here, right? So the bottom line for this is just shut up and grind, okay? Last thing, winners are not people who never fail. They are people who refuse to quit. Winners are not people who never fail. They are people who refuse to quit. See, for me, I don't quit, okay? Quitting is like a four-letter word to me. It's just not an option. It's we win or perish. We burn the boats. We take over the island. Okay, Michael Jordan, he failed and failed. He said, I missed more than 9,000 shots. 50% of the times he was asked to take the game-winning shots, all this stuff, right? But he said, I failed and failed and failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed, okay? Every person who's ever been a champion, I don't care if it's Alex Morton, Jason Brown, Ivan Tapia, every single one of them has been smashed in the face. But they were willing to keep moving forward regardless. And so at some point, you got to ask yourself, is quitting a part of my mentality and a culture? If so, it's 2021. It's 2021. You can break the chain of this. You can stop this. I do not quit. Quitting is not an option. Champions don't quit. They make adjustments. They adjust the sails of their boat. That's what they do. Okay. So take quitting out of your vocabulary. I'm going to go join this company. I'm going to go join and get these trading signals over here in the Telegram. I'm going to go do this thing. I'm going to get an AI robot. Guys, stop having the kind of mentalities. I'm always looking for the latest, greatest thing. Those people never make money. Okay. The people that make it to the top, they find something and they go 100 miles an hour consistently. That's my message for you today. Roger, I'll turn it back to you, man.
Thanks a lot, Brandon. Really appreciate that. Someone put a comment in saying, could you just repeat what you just said? And I'll repeat what it was that you'd said at the time. And what it was that winners are not people who never fail. Winners are people who never quit. Honestly, I mean, Simon Brooks, how many times have you said the number of people who quit 6 weeks before payday? just stick with it, guys. We have an incredible business here. We have an incredible opportunity. We have the best educators. We have the best mentors. We have the best support. All you've got to do is stick around, learn it, and apply it, put it into action. As long as you put it into action, you can't fail forever. We'll all fail on day-to-day basis. You can't fail forever. You must succeed. That said, guys, we're going to wrap it up right now. We do our opportunity calls 5 days a week now. I know Brandon does his own calls over in the USA several times a day. There are many, many opportunities. Your job's really, really simple with this business. Your job is to use the product, talk to people, and demonstrate what those products are doing to other people. End of the day, just use, talk, demo. Pure and simple. Just go out there, talk to as many people as you can, bring more people to our opportunity calls, show people just exactly what it is we have and just how good it is. And we'll see each and every one of you hitting the ranks that some of these other guys are hitting as well. Simon, is there anything you want to add before I wrap up?
Sorry, I was on mute there. No, it's just a question of go for it, go for it, go for it, and go for it. The trades that are coming out have been phenomenal. People are making the money hand over fist. So make sure you get a piece of it. Now, a lot of people are looking at it going, chairman, yeah, guess what? They're sat back in the deck chair thinking, it's going to happen. No, it's not. It'll only happen if you get off your backside and go to work. And this, what we're doing right now, is as close as it gets to work. This is it. We got no blisters on our hands. We're not going to be told by the government that you can't social, or you've got a social distance. I mean, how far are we away from each other? We're thousands of miles. So we are social distancing. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Folks, you just got to get off your backside and just speak to people, speak to people, speak to people. And that is classed as work in our book. Anyway, Roger, that's me done.
Okay, guys, we will see you all tomorrow night on our next call. Until then, speak to you soon. Enjoy yourselves, guys. Bye, everyone.
Catch you later. Bye-bye.